Whether you're in debt or you're just confused about how credit works, this video is for you. Hi everyone, I'm Alice. I'm a chartered accountant and I'm interested in all things personal finance and personal development. Your credit score is like a financial passport. I really want to make this video so that people understand credit, what debt is, how to pay off debt, what credit is, what is a credit score, an ultimate guide to guide you on this topic. So many people don't understand this and it's crucial that you do. Your credit score is like a financial passport and it affects whether you can rent an apartment, buy a house, get a car, get a loan, or sometimes even land certain jobs. But most of us are really never taught how it works or why it matters. So in the next 10 minutes, I'm breaking down credit, debt, scores, and smart strategy to build a healthier financial future. Okay, let's go. Okay, section 1. What is debt and why it matters? Debt comes in many forms: credit cards, loans, even mortgages, and not all of it is bad. Good debt is usually something that builds value over time. So, like getting a mortgage on a house, you're building equity and the value is growing over time. However, I have a video on whether to rent or buy in 2025, so click here if you would enjoy that. But also good debt is like a student loan with low interest rate, and you know that is going to give you return on investment in the long term. Then there's also bad debt. This is high interest stuff like credit cards and car loans, the things that cost you more the longer that you hold them. And here's the kicker: interest is your enemy when it compounds against you. So as I've talked in other videos, compound interest is amazing when it works in your favor when you're investing, but when you're in debt, compound interest can ruin you. Okay, section 2. What is a credit score and why does it matter? A credit score is a 3-digit number, usually between 300 and 850. It depends on your country, and it tells lenders how risky you are as a borrower. The higher the score, the more trust you've built and the more likely you are to get it. So for example, if you have a credit score of 850, you're likely to get a good mortgage with potentially lower interest rates, and you can borrow more, which means you can get a better house, which is not always recommended. But if that's what you need and that's what you want, a credit score is important. Credit score is used for mortgages, car loans, even if you go to Apple and you want to pay on credit, which is actually a very good idea because there's no interest. $1,000 phone over 10 months, for example, would be $100 per month. That's actually very reasonable for a lot of people because then you can use the rest of the money to invest. But you can only do it if you have a good credit score. Okay, section 3, how are credit scores calculated? Here's what makes up your credit score. Around 35% is your payment history. So have you been paying on time? For example, if you have a credit card, do you pay the balance off in full every month? You should. Pay on time always. Around 30% is credit utilization. So this is the lower the better, so keep it under 30%, ideally under 10%. So if you have a credit card of 10k, if you can keep the credit utilization at like 1,000 to 2,000 maximum, then you will get a great score. Around 15% is length of credit history, so the longer that you've had the card, the better. Old accounts really help, so that's why closing accounts is not really a good idea. Sometimes it's not just as simple as closing an account, like it can actually affect your credit score. So it's good just to keep the account even if you're not using it. Around 10% can be new credit. So if you've done too many applications, this can be a red flag and this can bring down your credit score. And then around 10% can account for your credit mix. So what mix of credit do you have? Do you have a credit card? Do you have a loan? This is good diversity. If you just have one type of credit, that's less so. Myths to bust here is that checking your credit score does not reduce your credit score. Some people think that's the case, but it's not. Carrying a balance on your credit card does not help your credit score. It just costs you money. So don't do that. As I said, pay it off in full every month. Okay, section 4, how to improve your credit score. So here's how to build or repair your credit. Number 1, as I keep saying, pay on time. If this means automating a payment between your bank and your credit card account, then so be it. Set up auto pay or set up calendar alerts on your Google Calendar or whatever calendar you use. Set reminders on your phone and pay that off every month. Do not spend more than you can pay off. Number 2, keep utilization low. So as I said, definitely keep it under 30%, but try and aim towards 10% if you can. Number 3, I already mentioned, do not close your old cards. They help your credit age. And number 4, check your credit report regularly just to check where you're at. So I know in the US, you can use annualcreditreport.com. In the UK, we have ClearScore, Experian, and in Spain, Vax.es and Experian.es. Number 5, become an authorized user. Someone with good credit can help build yours, so you can become an authorized user on somebody else's account. So Google, ChatGPT, how to do this if you want to. And number 6, use a secured credit card. If you're rebuilding, pay it in full and use it wisely. Okay, section 5, how to pay off debt strategically. So I know some of you might be in debt and you really want to tackle that debt. Now there's 2 methods. There's the snowball and there's the avalanche. And I'm going to go through both with you and see which one's best for you. Okay, let's start with the debt snowball. This is where you list debts from smallest to largest and you tackle the smallest one first despite the interest rate. So even if the smallest balance has a lowest interest rate, the idea is that you pay it off first, because paying off debt isn't just about money, it's about your mental mindset. If you can pay that lowest balance off first and clear it, that will give you more motivation to tackle the next one and then the next one. So in this case, you would put minimums towards all and then you will put extra towards the smallest balance. Get rid of that debt. Positive is that it is emotionally stimulating, it's motivating, but the downside is that it doesn't make sense financially. I mean, you might end up paying more over time. It's great for small wins and building confidence. The downside is that you probably end up paying more over time. Going on to the avalanche method, here you list debts by highest interest and then lowest interest, and you tackle the debts with the highest interest first. So here you pay minimums on all and then you throw the extra at the highest interest rate debt. You'll pay the least amount possible on these debts. This is best for long-term savings. However, progress can feel slower if your high interest debt is big, and that can be demotivating for a lot of people. That's why people like Dave Ramsey in the US, the financial expert, he recommends the debt snowball because he thinks it's all about psychology. And I personally, as a mathematician, I really do look at avalanche method and think I would personally do that one. But I also have a lot of self-discipline and a lot of self-motivation. If you know yourself and you think you don't have that, then I think the snowball method would be better for you. Okay, section 6, credit cards, smart versus dangerous. Here's how to use credit cards without getting wrecked. There's a lot of controversy around whether credit cards is a good financial decision or not. I do think using a credit card, you do end up spending more money. Well, I think you spend more money because number 1, it doesn't feel as real as money and you think you can pay it later. So there's a bit of cognitive dissonance. And number 2, if you're playing the credit card game, you're trying to get the points for the hotels and the flights, you know, you might end up spending more because you want to get those points and it's kind of like a game. So I completely understand why people are against credit cards. I do have one. I do try and only spend on it when necessary. So actually, I only spend for like travel and I don't spend more than I need to. So I don't spend more than I need to, but I do get points that will obviously help towards future travel. All of this is to say, if you want to get a credit card, do it. But if you don't think you have discipline and you think you're going to spend more, just pay on your debit card. If you pay for everything on your debit card, you know exactly how much you have left for the month. You're not guessing and you won't end up with a big balance. So if you do want to use a credit card, here's how not to get wrecked. Never max out your card. Avoid minimum only payments. Interest builds up fast. So do not fall into this trap of thinking, oh, I only need to pay $25 this month. Great. No, because you will be paying a lot in the future for that debt that you're not paying off now. So just pay it off in full. Use it for planned purchases only, not random splurges, and don't chase rewards if it means overspending. That 2% cashback or those Avios points won't cancel out your 20% interest rate. All right, that was a quick overview of credit and debt. I definitely would love to go into it more with you. So let me know in the comments below if you would like to hear more about debt and credit, or any other topics in fact that you would like to know about, because I'm really trying to grow this channel. I really would appreciate your help. I want to teach everyone about personal finance. I think it's a gap for a lot of people. Yeah, so if you want to help me out, leave a like and let me know down below what you would like to hear from me. Remember, your credit score doesn't define you, your debt doesn't define you. It does impact your financial freedom, and that's why we want to get rid of it. We want to improve our credit score and we want to get rid of debt. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.